This is Karen from Grace Be Creations, and it is Sunday night, and we are finally at the bookmaking phase. Yay, it's going to be so exciting. It's funny because I woke up this morning and I was so proud of myself. I'm like, okay, I'm getting my fabric out. I'm going to make this video in the morning. It's going to be awesome. I spent all day playing with different fabric and here I am. It's 7:48. Well, okay, not just that, but I was helping my husband make a really good dinner tonight. So it wasn't completely my fault, but I could have made it a little bit earlier. But that's okay. At least I'm making it. Okay, so we are starting the series of making the junk journal. This will be the first video, and what we're doing today. Last night we did the book topper, as you remember. So we're saving that for inspiration. But today, in this video, I'm going to show you guys how I put together my spine and put the book together. I'm going to show you how I do it and how I use decoupage to put my fabric on to start the book, and then I do layering on top of it. This is how I've done almost every book. I think there was like one book. The first book I did a special, it was already made. It was like, it didn't have fabric on top. Almost every other book I've done has fabric on top. So, except for the slim journals, those were all made with paper. But this, we're doing fabric. I showed you guys the inspiration piece that we're using. We have this lace that's going to be going on top of white cotton fabric, and I'm going to be layering it with a little bit of white lace. And I will show you that when we get to that part. But right now, I'm going to show you how to add the spine to the bookends, okay? So, we are making a book that's going to be 10 3/4. 10 3/4 by, I don't know why I'm forgetting this. I said it yesterday, 10 3/4 by 6 3/4. So it's a little bit longer of a book, not as wide as I usually make them, but it's going to be kind of like a slim book, but not really. It's still kind of wide. It's not as slim as like the flip-flop journals or anything. Okay, so I am doing a 3 3/4. Oh my gosh, why am I not remembering anything? I just cut this. I am doing a, yes, 3 3/4 of a spine. Okay, because I'm going to be doing 3 signatures. I might be able to fit 4 if I change my mind. I might be able to do 4, or I can do 3 and make the signatures chunky. We'll see which way we go. But we need to put the spine to the bookends. So this is how I do mine. Okay, so we're going to lay the book down as we're going to have it. This is going to be the front. So I just want to see. I spent an hour taking all the light paper that was on top because it would have looked, because it was spotty, so I had to like take it all off. Doesn't really matter, it's all the same size, but I think I'm going to use this for the back. Okay. Okay, gonna use that for the front. This is gonna be the back. All right, and this is gonna be the spine. Now, the most important part about doing your book is you wanna make sure that there's at least 1 inch to 1/2 inch between the book and the spine, because you have to have that space in between to give it room to move. I'm going to tell you the exact, it's like a 1/4 of an inch actually, I'm sorry. So 1/4 of an inch between the two. You just want to have a little space between them, okay? Bring it in a little bit more actually. I think that's a little too wide. I haven't done this in a while, so I think it's been almost a year since, well, not a year. I think it's like 8 months since I've made a, actually, I'm not straight on the page. on the page. I'm not straight on the paper, so I want to make sure I'm nice and straight. Let me get straight. Now this part might take you a few minutes to make sure, because once you tape it down, you won't be able to untape it, because I'll show you the tape that we're using. So just have a little bit of space in between. Make sure it's good and lined up. Okay, just want to make sure it's lined up neatly. Make sure your tops go right to the top. And there we go. Okay, that's good. That looks about even right there. Okay, so this is the tape that I use. It's called tie-back tape. It's a sheathing tape that you get from Home Depot. They use it for sheetrocking. This stuff works awesome for binding your book to the spine, to the front ends. It's very sticky. Once you put it down, it's hard to bring it back up. So that's why I say make sure you have your book slide perfectly. Okay, so this is how I do it. Oh yeah, let's just rip. This is not how I do it. I can't waste too much because I'm running out. Oh my goodness. Like I said, it's sticky. Let me just, I can't waste too much of this because I'm almost out. Hold on a minute. I just want to make sure I'm not going to be wasting too much of this. Thought I had this perfectly. Hold on. All right, 1 second. Okay, I got it. This is how you're going to do it. You're going to bring it and place it right on top, keeping it spaced perfectly like you have it, okay? You're going to bring it all the way down and leave some room on the other side because you have to bring that around to the back. I hope I did not just put that down on paper. I hope that comes up. I should be doing this on my glass topper and not paper. I forgot what I was on. All right, I'll fix it in a minute. It'll be fine. Okay. I hate it when you lose your space on the roll. Okay, I just want to make sure I grab it right because I am running out. I have very little left. I should have gotten more before doing this book, just in case. There we go, good. Sorry if this is loud. Okay. Okay. I'm going to try and hold this up so it doesn't. All right, now, don't do it on paper like I just did. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, let me just, oh my gosh. Hold on. All right, lift this up. Please don't do what I just did. I cannot believe I did this. All right, let me take this off. All right, so you're gonna flip it over. Here I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna show them exactly how to do this the right way. Yeah, don't stick it to paper. Don't stick it to paper. Make sure that you're on something that's a mat or glass, or you're cutting, you know, your cutting board, use that. Do not do what I just did, except for the part of the tape, because that was right. So let me just flip this back over so I can show you. I laid it right over the middle on both sides. Then you're going to flip it over. You're going to put it down. Hold on. In that whole fiasco, I messed up the side. As you can see, that's taller. This is why You cannot move it. I'm showing you the mistakes that can be made, because when I first did my book, I made this mistake. All right, so the tape stayed down. It is sticky, I'm telling you. My fingers are like sticking to it. But it's better to fix this now than before it's too late, when we decoupage the whole thing, okay? Okay. You know what? I'm kind of glad that I made the mistake of this, because I want you to see what you can do in case something were to go wrong and you have to bring the tape back up. Okay, so you're going to bring it around the side. See, now it's lined up perfectly, and you still have your 1/4 of an inch in between. Now we're going to take tape again. Oh my goodness, I should have like rolled the end of this. I'm on a roll. No pun intended. It's okay. You guys have patience for me, right? You do, you do. This tape is like so sticky. But it works, and it's the only tape that I'll use for making junk journals. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing on this side, but you don't really need to go over. You can just go right to the end. You can go over if you want to, if you want to double secure it, but you don't have to. And the same on the other side. And I'm going to do what I was supposed to do and make a loop, just like that, so I can find it next time. All right, now you flip it back over. Oh my God. This is what I should have been making it on the whole time. I forgot to take all my stuff off the table. Okay, so you're going to flip it over, and if you do have any hanging over the edge, just bring it on over and just secure it like this, okay? I'm like throwing things off the table. Everybody's like, great lesson, Karen. Yep, great lesson. I'm learning a lot. Stick to the paper, stick to the table. All right, this is why it's important to have that space in between so that it moves and it has flex, okay? I'm going to bring this up just a little bit because we're a little bit too close, okay? So that's how it's going to look. You have your spine and you have your book. 3 3/4 inch spine. We're going to do 1, 2, 3 signatures, or we're going to fit 4 in here. I'm not sure how many yet, but it's going to be a nice book. This is going to look so nice when it's done. Okay? So that's the first step. Get in your book spine, bind it up. Okay? The next step. Now that I have the correct stuff on my table to work on, I don't know what I was thinking in leaving all the lace and everything on top. It's obvious that's not the right stuff to work on. All right. So here is the fabric that I'm using. This is the initial fabric that's going down on the book. I'm going to be layering on top, so it doesn't matter that it's not beautiful. I'm just using regular cotton fabric to cover my book initially before I put everything else on top. Okay? So we're going to lie it down. And then I'm going to be decoupaging and gluing this on. But I don't need it to go completely over like this. I'm going to be trimming it. This is fine, but it doesn't need to be this wide. You don't want to be gluing too much down because I have this little thing that I do with lace, and I will show you guys. I'm just gonna move this so I'm not off film. Okay, I'm gonna trim this up. Like that. Doesn't matter that it's not perfect, because I'm gonna be having something over it anyways. Doesn't have to be completely straight. Gonna get it right to where I want it. Now this is how I make my book. Not to say that you guys have to do this exactly the way that I'm doing it, but you wanted to see how I made a book, so I'm showing you how I do it. I just want to make sure that this tape is good and in between the holes. Just want to make sure it's lying good before I decoupage this. Want to make sure it has good movement. Good. All right, perfect. Now we're going to decoupage. Now this is the part that's tricky, because when you're decoupaging, you want to make sure that you're keeping your fabric really tight. You can't have loose pieces. Now you can use Mod Podge. You can use any kind of glue or decoupage. I like using this. I use Mod Podge too, but Mod Podge tends to be a little on the sticky side, I think. I mean, it's supposed to be sticky, but it's, I don't know, it's got a weird consistency to it. So I'm just going to grab a bunch of glue, and I'm just going to begin. So I'm going to press. And I'm just going to get it nice and tight. Hold on. You gotta also make sure. I just want to move this. Also make sure that this is staying straight. You don't want to go at a diagonal. It's a little tricky at first getting it started, but once you get it going, it's pretty easy. And you'll be able to pull it tight from the other side as well, so you don't have to have it completely have it tight, but you don't have to have it. Just know that if you have any wrinkles, that you'll be able to pull it from the other side. It's a little tricky at first, but it really binds to the book really well. And this is always what's worked for me. Okay. Now the corners is what's the tricky part. Because you gotta kind of make this you can kind of do like you can cut it. Hold on. I'm going the long way, so I want to get this on film. Okay, this is the tricky part right here, is when you come up, because you don't want this corner to be sticking out. So you want to trim it, like when you come up. First of all, I'm going to trim this like that. That should work. can already tell I'm a little off, but I have plenty of fabric to work with. Okay. This is the tricky part because the corner is a little bit thicker. And I might be trimming that anyways. I can trim that so that you don't have to worry about it. I'm just going to go in and I'm going to just trim that right up. And a lot of this won't be showing because I'm going to be covering the inside with lace later on. Okay. Now we'll see how long this takes. I don't think we're going to get to the cover because this is going to have to dry. We'll see. Sometimes I get to it. Sometimes it takes a little bit for it to dry. We'll see where we're at. If not, we'll be doing another video tomorrow. Once we get the book made, we'll get on a good schedule with how the series is going to work on the days. But I want to get the initial book cover on there, and then we'll go from there. All right, carefully lift it up. We're going to do the same thing here. Like this. Sorry if I get a little quiet. I just want to make sure I do this. I want to make sure I do it right, so I don't have to do it over. Okay. So far, so good. I'm crossing my fingers because usually I run into a problem. Maybe my little problem was the tape sticking to the paper. Okay, this is the important part, okay? We're doing the other side. We have to make sure this is tight. Make sure you pull it up. Even if you have to get your hands glue, you want to make sure you're really pulling this up tight because you want this fabric to be really tight. Let me get some glue down first so I can straighten it the way I need to. Sometimes it's a little easier to tighten it when you have the glue down because it's slippery at first. And I don't even care if I get my hands dirty because I just want to make sure that it's good and tight. And you want to make sure it's not pulling from this way. You want to make sure this stays even to it at the same time, keeping it tight. It's almost like wrapping a present. It's almost the same way, except you're gluing it, not taping it. Okay. And if you have a little bit of wrinkles right here, it's okay, because we can cover those. Now that my hands are nice and filled with glue. And this fabric is really thin, so it's actually a lot easier to work with. Okay. Probably. Okay, right, now we're going to turn it. Looking good, looking good. I'm so excited. All right. Now, the last part. You might have this part at the end might be a little uneven, like see if that comes over a little bit. You just trim it. That's all you have to do. Even if you just make this little weird like I said, it's just like wrapping a gift. I'm going to pull it nice and tight. It's almost like Midasing the corners, right? Pull it nice and tight. You might have one side longer over than the other. You just have to play with it and trim it where you can. I'm going to get the glue started and play with it. Like I said, it's easier to work with when it's wet. Okay? All right. Let me see where I'm at with this. I might have to trim this up right here. Don't get my sleeves full of glue. All right. This. I should have trimmed that because that's like the very end of the fabric and it's a little bumpy, but it's all right because we're going to have, hopefully it doesn't, I don't think it's going to do anything. I can still trim it. See how it's like a little piece of, almost like there's a piece of thread in there? I'm just going to go ahead and trim this because I think it's, I don't want it to be bubbled up when I go to put my lace down. I didn't really think that was going to be a problem. Yeah. Yeah, I feel better about that already. It wasn't getting flat down like the other side was. And you'll see what I mean when I get to the part of putting lace down on the inside. Usually I put a piece of paper down. We're going to cut out a piece of paper the same size. We're going to put a piece of cardstock down, and then we're going to put a nice piece of lace, and we're going to have a beautiful lace inlet on the book. All right, I'm just going to give one more look around to make sure everything is down. Make sure everything is glued. And you don't have to worry about this messing up the hinges because the hinges are covered with tape. Like this. And like I said, you can use decoupage, you can use the decoupage, you can use Mod Podge, you can use regular glue, whatever, as long as it sticks. All right, we have that part down. Now I'm going to show you the other side, and let's make sure that it's all nice and firm. Perfect. Got some little papers on there. Doesn't matter, it's going to be covered anyways. And it doesn't matter that you can see through it because it's going to be covered. But see how nice and tight that is? Look at that. Perfect. And that is how you add a spine to the two book ends. And like you can see, it still moves perfectly. No problem. Just want to add, sometimes when you put it on the tape part, it tends to come off a little bit, but it's okay. This is good and glued down. We do not need any more. Okay, that's it with the decoupage. Now, let me see, where am I at for time? 31 minutes. I think we can go ahead and put paper down, because we're going to put a piece of paper down, and then what we're going to do is we're going to be lining the inside with lace. Okay? So I'm going to go off camera really quick and go find the paper I'm going to place in here just so I can stop the time. So I'll have more time to do this. I'll be right back while I go pick the paper out to put on the inside. Okay, so what I did is I went and printed a very light pink background paper just to give it a hint of color. It's just a background that I had in my collection, and I just want like a faint pink color in the back. I don't want it to be any design or anything. I just wanted something to show through the lace a little bit, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut to the size of the two bookends. Okay, so I don't know why I keep forgetting the size of this book. 10 3/4. 6 3/4. I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay. So we're going to cut. It doesn't look like we're going to get to the front of the book today. It'll probably be tomorrow's video. We'll see. I really don't like to go over 45 minutes for a video because I heard once you get over an hour, it takes forever. It does take a long time to upload, but I will see what I can do. If not, I'll be doing a video tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, because I have nothing going on tomorrow. I'm officially on vacation from my routines this week. So, all right, 10 3/4. And then 6 3/4. Let me just make sure this is right. Perfecto. All right. All right. Did I just do that evenly? Why does it seem like that wasn't straight? Yeah, it's straight. All right, 6 3/4. Okay. Here we go. Now, this is already dry. This stuff dries really quick. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to glue down, not decoupage, regular glue. We're going to glue down a backing to the book. You just want to make sure that it doesn't go over. So you know what I should do? I should trim it up just a tiny bit because you want it just to lay on the inside and not go right to the edge, and I didn't think of that. So I'm just going to take a smidgen off the end and a smidgen off the inside. Okay. Make sure. Okay. Just a little tiny bit. I should have done that to begin with, but I forgot that you really should. Yeah, see, you want to just go a little bit on, little tiny bit in. That's perfect. All right, we're going to glue this down. Regular glue. Hold on, I have a little piece of that fabric sticking out. Let me just trim this down really quick. There. See, I'm glad I saw that. Let me just see how that looks on the outside. That's good. All right, so just glue this down like this. Get it nice and flat. Do the same to the other side. And you also have some extra glue down on the fabric as well, which is perfect. It helps to seal everything in, so you have a nice sturdy book. Again, I have a little piece of, as the glue dries, you may have these little pieces that stick up. Let me just trim this. I don't want to. There. All right. Glue down. Like that. Hold on. I just want to add a little bit of glue down in here. Okay. Hold on, I'm just adding a little extra piece over here because when I went to go cut the corner, there's like a little tiny tear right there, and I just want to make sure it doesn't cause any problems. I don't think it's going to. No, because I'm going to have lace over that anyways. It's good. All right, get this good and firm. Make sure your hands are clean when you do this because you don't want to get the paper dirty, because this is what's going to show through the lace. All right, make sure that your ends move in. You want to make sure that everything moves good before anything else. And we will be doing, not today, I'll be finding something really nice to put on the inside. I'm not sure what I want to do with that yet. Not quite sure, but we will be putting the lace down. All right, now I don't know if I want to do this lace here. It's not wide enough. That's the only problem I was worried about, because usually when I do a book, well, no, because I've had wider books. Let me look. Hold on. I think this one's, I'm not sure. This is one of my lace rolls that I use. I should use the vintage one. I only have a little bit of that left. Okay, so I'm just going to do just the inside. I can always lace the outer edges with trim. I don't know if I want to use the white or if I want to use my vintage. I only have a little of my vintage left. Like I was telling you guys, I can't find any more of this kind. They're not selling it on Amazon anymore, not in this color. This is more of a yellowish color, and I love it. Let me see, what does it match with the front? Yeah, I'm going to use this one. I wrote to them on Amazon and told them, listen, you guys need to get that back in stock because I love the color. See the difference in the color? It's completely different. And believe it or not, this is called Milky White, and so isn't this, and it's not the same color. So I've looked everywhere, and I cannot get... It's made by a special company, and their color is a little bit different than the other ones. I absolutely love it, and I only have that much left. I know, I'm crying. I'm crying. Okay, now I'm going to glue this down. I like to smush it like that so that you don't get the line showing through. You don't want to have like zigzag lines. Look at how pretty this looks. I just love this look. I do it for almost every book. I have to put more glue down there. Make sure to really get that paper down. I'm going to trim that in a minute. Let's put the other piece of lace down. I really hope that this inspires you to do a book. I hope that this helps somebody make a book. I don't know if this looks easy or if it's too complicated. I hope it's not too complicating. I mean, it's pretty easy, I think. We all have our ways of making our books. Everybody does it differently. I'm just showing you the way that I feel is easy. And it makes a really good sturdy book. Okay, now I'm going to trim. I'll trim that a little bit better. And while you're trimming, just make sure that your edges are down. If you have a little bit lifting up, just go in and just add a little bit of glue because you don't want those to curl up later. Okay. And so I'm going to be numbering the videos so that if you ever miss a couple, you'll be able to just go and watch it. I'm going to name this like, you know, bookmaking, you know, book series part 1. It's hard to get in there. There we go. Oh, I have one more. Didn't even see that one. I should have done it that way the first time. That was easy. All right. Now, we have our lace down. Look at how pretty that is. That is going to look gorgeous for the inside of the book. Look at that. I want to find something really nice to line the inside of the spine. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. I might use a different kind of cloth in the center. I'm not sure yet, but let me show you really quick before I end the video. We are at 44 minutes. Let me show you what it's going to look like. Look at how nice this is. Okay, So here's the book front, right? The plan right now is I'm probably going to do, let me put something in here so I can have it sitting up straight. No, it's too high. Oh, wait. My trusty little, I always use that for everything. Okay. So right now the plan is I was going to put a piece of lace like this. And the lace that I am putting on the front of the book. Okay. And then the outer spine part is going to have, oh, that's right, I have to have something going around the other side. I might have to use a longer piece of lace going around the other side, and I'll show you why. Okay, this is how it's going to lie. Okay, and we're going to have the book topper on there. Okay, and I haven't decided yet what I'm going to use. I was playing around with like doorknobs. I have this really cute doorknob. I didn't know if I wanted to use the crystal doorknob or if I wanted to do like something like this, or I've been playing around with a bunch of little tools to put on the front. I don't know if I want to do like a oh my goodness, like one of these, or I don't want to throw anything too dark up there because it's going to throw the whole contrast off. So I was thinking about one of the doorknobs would be really cute. I don't know yet. I'm still thinking about it, but we're not there yet. But so far this is the plan for the front of the book. I might add a little something else. I might bring this out a little further, actually. What I might do, you know what I could do? Bring this down this way. Well, no, because I have to have it overlapping. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. I might have to put 2 pieces of lace down on the front. I want to have this almost up to the edge because when this is on, I want the roses to show. And we have a little bit of lace showing there on the front. So what I was just talking about is when you look at the spine, okay, I don't want that to show, so I'm probably going to have another piece of fabric lying over it to go over to the back and have this lying over. So I'll find something. So we'll be putting something else down underneath this that's going to lay over the spine, if that makes any sense. We'll bring it over to the back of the book. You'll see what I mean when we get to binding the front. We're going to work on that tomorrow. I'll have everything ready to show you how to do that part. I'll show you how to put the fabric on, and we'll just take the next step. And then after we get the fabric in the front on, then we move on to, okay, we have to work on the inner spine. I might add some, actually, I might be able to do that now with the few minutes I have, unless I don't know what I want to use yet. What I was thinking is I was thinking about making pockets on the inside of the book. But I don't know if I want to use this lace, so give me until tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll do pockets really quick, line the inside up here, and then we'll start the cover. So I'll probably do around an hour video tomorrow. I'll make it an hour so we have enough time to bind the front. And then after all that's done, then we're going to make the holes for the signatures. And then we're going to start making the signatures together. I'll show you how I make my signature papers. So that's what we're going to do. So that's it, guys. We have the book together. We have it covered. We have the lace on the inside. This is going to be a beautiful book. I love it. It's going to be so much fun. Thank you so much for being a part of this series. And I will be putting another video out tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. Like the video and comment. I love answering all of you guys' comments. I love seeing what your thoughts are. Let me know what you think of the book so far. And I will see you in the next video. Have a great night. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Bye.